Okay, so we're back. And let's see what we need to do. Well, we're already checking whether x and y are row and or column vectors, so let's leave that alone. But we do need to check that alpha is actually a scalar. But wait a minute, alpha is actually an output, so I guess we don't really need to even check that. What we're going to do instead is we're going to start by saying, well, we're going to run through the vectors, multiplying corresponding entries, and then we're going to add that into a variable alpha that is going to accumulate the result. So we need to start by setting alpha equal to 0. Let's make sure we put a semicolon at the end. And then we have the different cases of x being a column vector, y being a column vector, etc. We're going to march through those vectors in exactly the same way as when we copied, so we can leave that alone. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to say alpha, we're going to add the result of multiplying corresponding entries of x and y together. 2. I wonder if that's a grammatically correct sentence. All right, and we do that every time. Now notice that we can always commute x and y, and I like it a little bit better when it looks like that, so I'm going to put that in here. And then, whoops, but we're going to accumulate into alpha, so we need to do that. And here we're going to say alpha is equal to alpha plus, I like moving this to the end, so we'll take this, times, and then let's put that in. And then finally we get alpha is equal to alpha plus, take this, delete that, and then we don't need to create a y out because we are returning the result in alpha. So let's save that. And let's see if we got it right. Ooh, we've not seen that before. We seem to be in an infinite loop. Interesting. We passed a whole bunch of tests. We were not in an infinite loop. What happened instead was that we should not say that y out has failed here. We want to say that alpha has failed here when we return. Or we want to assign fail to alpha is what I should say. So let's run test dot again. And we pass all of the tests that I created. Good.